Shall we all please come in? Our guest is here, the High Commissioner and the team are outside. We want everybody to be seated and then they will come in. We have a short program, so there will be introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm really grateful that tonight you all finally made it to this place. I request that all those who are standing outside and inside, please be seated for us to start our program tonight. Thank you. Before we start anything, I'll call our opening Commisioners to say a short word of prayer as usual.
Okay, let us stand, please. Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall never perish but have everlasting life. Almighty God and Father, we thank you. We thank you for all the day and all the good things you have given us. We thank you for having our head of mission, who is responsible for our country and all this globe, here, Her Excellency, and this member of the South. And members of the Ghanaian community, your comportment and everything else is also very, very important. We always ask the blessings of God to keep us always in safe and let us work in the path of righteousness and always do what is good and right. We ask this through Christ our Lord and Savior. Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On our program tonight, we will do a short. Just before we start, a few housekeeping. We have emergency doors across to the back to the right, and then at the back here, and the main entrance. Our gathering point in case of emergency is the car park. So the car park area is where we all get together and do a bit of roll call. The restroom facilities are just behind, through this door on your right. They are all there for us to use. Before we also start, we recognize the traditional owners of this land, the Ghana people, almost close to the name Ghana itself. We recognize their importance and their affairs and distance on this age. Tonight we are privileged as an association to be officially beset by the mission from Canberra. And at this juncture, on behalf of the association, I want to thank them for making the trip. I will start by introducing them tonight, and then we'll go from there. On my immediate right is Her Excellency Mrs. Bessie Deborah Kari. He is the head of mission. Shall we give him a clap? Then on my immediate left is brother Mr. Rashid Inusa. He is Minister for Consular Affairs. Then our head of Chancery is Mr. Samuel Kuma. Then on my right there is Honorable Mr. Justin. I almost say Bieber, but it's not Bieber, it's Justin Bieber. Honorable Consul of Ghana, Sydney. He's based in Sydney and does some of the Republic of Ghana Association. On behalf of the organization, we want to welcome you to South Australia Ghana Association. We hope that we'll be having a fantastic evening and we'll all enjoy tonight. On that note, I will request that we all stand as we play the Ghana National Anthem. I think we'll try and just have that as a quick start. Thank you very much. Please have a seat. Please be seated. As a bit of a welcoming for our delegates, our cultural school want to put up a small demonstration. So I will invite Abby, who will introduce this cultural school, and then we'll take it up from there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Amen. Enano ne ejano. Emantie ne emebawa. Ene enkwada yeshie muaha. This is a brief report on the cultural school. We currently have about 30 families on register, and normally we would have about 15 students per meeting. We've currently got 4 assistants on roster from our cultural school who run our meetings. They are Syra, Susie, Frida, and myself. Please put your hands together for these girls. This program is currently supported and funded by the Port Adelaide Enfield Council. This funding goes towards facilitators' time, stationery, food, and other needs. This funding period ends in November of this year. Financially, we're traveling well so far. Since the beginning of this year, we've had other programs in addition to our drumming, dancing, and tree lessons, which has really enriched our school program. For example, we had time with Uncle Ebenezer, who gave us more insight into our culture, country, and the regions. We also had Auntie Yoko, who took us on a trip to Japan. We learned how to make sushi and miso soup. Auntie Priscilla also took us to the typical Aussie home. We will continue to run this program once or twice a month, and we still have other interesting topics coming up, so please keep an eye out on your emails and WhatsApp. Our meetings are usually the first Sunday and third Sunday of each month. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the following people: our dear parents who unfailingly make time to bring us, our president, Uncle Ima, who never misses a meeting, the Cultural School Coordination Team, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. A big thank you to Auntie Mama Equia for all the kitchen help. Thank you Uncle Afla, our drumming and dancing facilitator, Miss Ajay, our tree facilitator, all our uncles and aunties on the program, all our families and students, and lastly but not the least, our funding body, the Port Adelaide Enfield Council. Thank you. Yefremin Abina Oforiwa Aferi. Mikri Asamankasi Iowa Eastern Region. Ghana's government representative is here, Mrs. Mercy Deborah Kakari, and her team, Yamamo Akwabu.
That is fantastic. This is incredible, fantastic.
This is a classic one.
That is great. Thank you so much, Cultural School. The Tree language, it's been fantastic. And I must say that the Cultural School has been an incredible setup that we will continue to thank the coordinators and all those who helped to make it work. We're so grateful, and I'm sure we'll get some comments shortly. Tonight, we've been planning this for a very long time. About a couple of years ago, Mr. Inusa was here to visit the community where we had an open forum, and we are tonight going to go through the same scenario. We're going to have an open forum where at some point in our program we'll have questions and answers. You have a whole massive team of our representative from Canberra. That is incredible, and I'm sure any question could be answered. So we thank them for coming, and we believe that we will leave here having responses to some of the questions we have, but also we will hear from them some of the improvements and activities that is happening. And of course, we want to have opportunity to add our suggestions in terms of what can we do to support whatever is going on in Ghana. So we hear that one too. So without much ado, I will pause shortly and then we'll take it from there. Our program for tonight, we've had a cultural school. There will be the Ghana High Commission updates and reports, news from there, what's happening. And then we'll do open forum part 1 where we'll start, asking some questions. We'll have a live refreshment in between. We'll have a second open forum part 2. Then we'll have closing remarks, and then we'll end the day, and then we'll have the tomorrow program, chess service. So once again, on behalf of the Ghanaian Association, I want to welcome your Justin, Her Excellency Rashid, and Sam for taking the time to come and say hello to us. We are so grateful, we are so blessed, and I believe that the Ghanaian community will join us to support to make this program a successful one. Thank you very much. At this juncture, shall we give a hand when as I call Her Excellency to say some few words? Thank you very much.
Good evening. Nana Kuya Ferry and your team from the drummers to the dancers. Nimamaiko. Yeah, don't want to say much here and fine for fair. Some much as it. The very young ones, do you understand what Aiko means? It's our way of saying congratulations. So congratulations to all of you, Aiko. And then you say Yai. Aiko. Yai. So, Mr. President of the Association and your executives on the high table, my 2 colleagues have been introduced already, Mr. Inusa and Mr. Sambo Kumba. And we have with us Mr. Justin Peter from Sydney. He's the honorary consul in Sydney. Let me do a bit of explanation. We have 2 types of consul. You would normally hear consul general or consul, and then sometimes you hear honorary consul. He's our honorary consul. Honorary consul means that he provides his services free of charge. He's not paid by government. And so we appreciate the work that he does for the Ghanaian community in Sydney. First of all, let me thank you all. Let me thank all of you for taking time off to meet us this evening. I'm sure the 1,001 things you could be doing at this time. It's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful evening out there, but you have taken time off to come and see us. Thank you very much for coming. And thank you for the very warm welcome. We appreciate the warmth of the reception we've received since our arrival in Adelaide. This evening, we are not going to talk too much. We would like to hear more from you, but I'll do a little introduction about myself because I think some of you are meeting me for the first time. I arrived in Australia in August last year, so I've done just a little bit of over 1 year. And since my arrival, we have been to a number of the states. I've been to Western Australia, we've done New South Wales, we've done Queensland. This is the official visit we are having for South Australia. I've been here previously, but it was on another visit, but I was still able to see some of you. But for this state, this is the first official visit we are having since my arrival. From Canberra, we cover a number of countries. We are not responsible for only Australia. So if you don't see us too often, don't worry, we still have you very much in our thoughts. We cover New Zealand, we cover Fiji, Papua New Guinea, Tonga, Vanuatu, Samoa, Solomon Islands, and Kiribati, all from Canberra. So that gives us quite a bit of a load, but we still have all of you very much on our schedule, and every assistance that we can give to support your work, we are ready to do that. I want to congratulate the executives of the Ghana Association and indeed all of you for helping grow the association to this level. We have been impressed by the level of cooperation amongst you, the fact that you meet very often and support each other. And you are not just doing that for the adults. We have been very much impressed by how you are bringing the young ones along with you. And what we have seen this evening is a demonstration of the fact that you are also keeping alive very much the culture of Ghana. So congratulations on that score, that the children can drum, they can dance. It's as if we were back in Ghana watching a youth group dance at an occasion. So congratulations once again for what you've done on that score. And I think I'd like to thank the coordinator and the teachers, everybody involved in this program. Congratulations for the time you spent in bringing these children up and in ensuring that our culture is kept alive, even from far away, in faraway Australia. We hope that you will continue to grow in this manner, and the children will continue to grow also. We know that as an association you would have issues that you want to learn about, whether it's about the services that we offer. But before I give the floor to Mr. Inusa, let me just also say that as a mission, we are very happy when we travel out and we speak to the Australian authorities, and we are told that generally the Ghanaians are people of good character. We want to encourage you to continue in that way, that you continue to be law-abiding citizens and contribute as much as you can to the Australian society. As you do that, remember also that we want to help build Ghana back home, because you still have families back home and you go back to Ghana. And we would all love to see that the good things that happen in Australia, we can see that also in Ghana. So whatever you learn from here, the skills, the expertise, the knowledge, the experience that you acquire from here, we would like to we would like you to share your thoughts with us, and for us to be able to send this back home to also develop our society. Now, having said that, I think we can have a conversation later, but I'll ask Mr. Inusa to talk to you about the services that the High Commission offers, and then we'll take the conversation on from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's always quite refreshing to come to South Australia, not only you meet our brothers and sisters, the fact that we feel that we are part of the community. And that's why we have always, from the High Commission's point of view, we think that this is the most well-organized community in the whole of Australia. The reason simply be that you are the only community that you have established such a group, such a well-formidable cultural group to, as it were, integrate the youth to be part of the Ghanaian community, for which we are all amazed, and we think that the best we can do is to encourage you. As you're fully aware, I had a discussion, a conversation with us now as regards the High Commissioner's plan to support the cultural group, and especially with regards to the tree language. Yeah, there are plans. The thinking of the mission is that the little we can do is to ensure that as soon as possible we try and get enough tributes, foundation tributes for the group, so that at least people will benefit from it. This is the thinking of the High Commission. The High Commission, as it were, is engaged in a lot of activities, but for the purpose of our discussion this evening, I will highlight some few basic ones which affect all of us here, so that we can use that as our focus of discussion this evening. The first thing that always comes to mind for any Ghanaian that you meet is about passport. Yeah, it's about passport. What we have done as a High Commission is that the processes and the procedure to acquire passport are clearly laid out on the mission's website. But irrespective of that, you always have people calling you, either asking you to help them to complete the forms, and even going through the form and everything. So I will always entreat you that when our unfortunate brothers come to you, please do help them, so that they will make our task very easy in not going through the form, detailed, all the line by line, asking you to help you complete the form online. That's very, very difficult. But we made the process so simple that in the past, all you do is to ask for request for the form. But now we have the passport form online. So all you do is that you go there, you download the form, you complete it, you follow all the procedure, and then you send it to us. But the difficulty with the passport is that currently the machine readable passport is not issued in Canberra, it's issued in Accra. So that is why we have stated there 3 months. The 3 months is the time it takes now we receive the application, initial processing, and then sent to Accra, processed and returned to us. Within that time frame, that's why we have stated 3 months. Sometimes people send it to Sydney. From Sydney, you also send it to Canberra, and then Canberra also send it to Accra. So we've taken all that into consideration to come to the 3-month framework. So all that I will encourage you this evening, and as we have done in all other areas, is to encourage you that when you go home, kindly look at your passport. Do not stay to allow the passport to expire. Yesterday, some people were telling me their passport will expire a year or 2 years. No, don't do that. Passport is, you need the passport for other purposes. Sometimes, you know the nature of our system. You will hear, and then you hear that unfortunately news, a relative has passed away, and you want to go to Ghana. And then you put the pressure on the mission that I need my passport. You cannot issue it immediately. So I will encourage all of you, when you go home, check your passport. You can initiate the process 6 months at a time. We do accept it. We have instances where people even need 1 year to the expiry of the passport, because the general travel rules are that the passport must be valid at least not less than 6 months. So because of that, we always encourage you to initiate the process, so that we are within the 3-month framework. You do get your passport. Otherwise, when you come for an emergency, the best we can do sometimes is to issue travel certificate, which is only for one-way travel to Ghana, and that poses a problem. Because we've had instances lately where people will say, okay, give me the travel certificate, I'll go to Ghana. When I get there, I'll go and chase out my passport. He gets the passport office, and he never gets to see the director. When the passport is supposed to send back to us, then now he has to pay for DHL to send the passport back to Ghana. So I want to avoid this kind of situation as regards the passport. With regards to visa, for those of you who have assessed our services, you realize that the visa system had improved dramatically from what it used to be. So the complaints have gone down or almost off. So definitely I'm convinced because we now have the honorary consul in Sydney, we have the honorary consul in Perth, and then for those in New Zealand we have another honorary consul in Auckland. So together with Canberra. So then with these 4 centers, we no longer have the usual problem that crop up where people are complaining, I'm a Ghanaian, I want to go, I don't have visas. Or lately, I've not come across those kind of complaints. And our service delivery has improved because we have 2-track approach. If you want the express, you pay additional fee, you get the express. If you want the normal processing, you get it. But people are so lucky that even with the normal processing, the turnaround is very, very good. Very, very good. Fortunately, I've had a lot of feedback from those of you in South Australia, and most of you have attested to our service delivery. Then we have the other issue, which is dual citizenship. For dual citizenship, for those of you who have Australian passport, and for most Ghanaians who live abroad, sometimes they do argue that I'm going to Ghana. Ghana is my country. I don't need to acquire a visa to get to Ghana, blah, blah, blah. We've had instances, a certain crazy person who moved from Western Australia and decided to get to the airport and then claiming that he's a Ghanaian. Therefore, he does not need a visa to enter Ghana. Meanwhile, when the person is holding an Australian passport and you are claiming you are a Ghanaian, you are holding an Australian passport, you say you are a Ghanaian, you don't need a visa to enter. No. International rules provide that the passport that you travel once you are entering Ghana, irrespective of who you are, it is that identity that you hold that determines your nationality. So if you are a Ghanaian and you are holding an Australian passport, you will require a visa to enter Ghana. Therefore, you need to apply for visa before you go to Ghana. You will not be issued a visa on arrival at the Kotoka International Airport. You have instances of where somebody gets to the airport and then the airline will call you and say that, okay, the person says you're doing a visa on arrival, so you have to no, we don't encourage sex unless, of course, it's extremely urgent. We will not encourage that. We will always encourage you to apply in good time, get your visa, and get to Ghana. So these are the issues which I feel I should bring to fore. The other way is that if you don't want to apply the visa, then you must apply to be a dual national. When you apply to be a dual national, the direction for that is also on our website. You request for the form, $300. It's not processed in Canberra, it's processed in Accra, at the Ministry of Interior. So when it's processed, you are issued a certificate and a green card. That green card will allow you to enter Ghana as many times as possible, and the green card is for life. Once you apply that, it's for life, so that you will not require a visa to go to Ghana when you are dual national. So these are the issues I believe that we should bring to our attention. Lastly, it's also the fact that we do free legal services. Between me and Justice Peter, we normally provide free legal services. I had a chat with him this morning. Within the last 6 months, we have done the serious cases, about 50 cases. That tells you the extent to which we do assist. When you come through Canberra through me, or you go through Sydney through him, Justin has been quite a support to the High Commission. He has his own legal practice, and then he does most of the rest. When he comes to me, I also do it. And then between us, we also try. There are critical cases sometimes of Ghanaians either having immigration issues, sometimes family disputes, sometimes property issues. We do the initial assessment, and where we have to help you, we can help you. Where we we field assessment, giving legal opinion. We also refer to other experts who can also assist. And that has been very, very helpful, especially with guessing in the city. So these are issues, these are things that you can assess from the High Committee free of charge. So I feel that I can draw your attention, and then I will open the floor for more questions and answers, so that if there are other issues, we can tackle it together. Thank you very much.
We'll start the open forum part 1. So when you stand up, just mention your name, at least your name. Ask the question. We'll do a few, and then we'll have some light refreshment and we'll take up on. We'll see how we go. So who will want to open the floor?
Your Excellency and members of the entourage. My name is Kofi Adelaide. I'm going to compliment, I'm going to applaud and laud the members of the team, but nobody's here, but I think that was a terrific show they put on. I mean, it was quite very entertaining and very happy. Yeah, very good show. I did not hear, so I won't say that. By the way, I have a small problem here. I paid $600 way back on the 18th of November 2009 for a dual citizenship thing for my son. Up to now, we haven't had anything. So I'm not quite sure what the story is, because I don't know how long it takes. He said 3 months to do the passport. But it seems like an awfully long time. It's from 2009 to now. I'm not sure. I didn't what's this? The green card? It says 2009. The 18th of November 2009. I got the receipt here and we said I received it. Long time. Is there any
So the way we do it, we'll be writing, we'll take like 4 questions at a time and then the response will come. Alright, we'll go. So we first start with Nuruddin. Annette is Charles, what's your hand up? Alright, so Nuruddin and Annette, Nuruddin, your question please.
Hi. My question is regarding what COVID has. You made mention of dual citizenship and did not completed on how one acquired that. And my second question is regarding some of us who have kids here. How do we register our kids to be part of to be able to acquire Ghanaian passport? And also, some of us do use Australian passport and Ghana passport, and would not register as a dual citizenship. And then whenever we go to Ghana, we just show Ghana passport, and if we are living, we present Australian passport, and we do have argument with our brothers and sisters down there that what's the big deal? It's our country, we can. So how can we address this so that at least we do the right thing? Thank you.
Okay, last one, then we'll have response. We'll come to you, Emmanuel. So, Annette, please.
My name is Annette, and my question is, when we do apply for visa to go to Ghana, for example, I've applied for up to 3 months. When we arrived in Ghana, our disembarkment stamp said 60 days, even though our visa said 90. So I didn't look at the date of the stamp. I went with what the visa provision said, which was 90 days. So I got charged for overstaying, even though my visa said 90. So I want to know if there's any way of reconciling that with the disembarkment stamp in Ghana. And I was charged $200.
That is a lot of money.
I'll start with the question by with regards to visa to Ghana, just for your information, Ghana visa is what we call entry permit. Globally, there are two types of visas in the world. We have duration visa, and then we have entry permit visa. Like when you are coming to Australia practice what we call duration visa. If they grant you a visa, it is limited by the duration. They will tell you that from this period to that period, which means within that period, if they give you 1 year multiple visa, they will tell you that each period you can stay in Australia for 3 months. That is what we call duration visa. In the case of Ghana, like the United States, it's what we call entry permit. So for those of you who have acquired visas to go to the US, you realize that because of the bilateral agreement between Ghana and the United States, for a Ghanaian passport holder, bar any problem or certain other information, you are supposed to give 5-year multiple visa. That does not mean that you can stay in the United States for 5 years. But at any time that you enter the United States of America, you are allowed to live there to stay there for a period of 6 months. So the same system that we have in Ghana. Ghana is what we call an entry permit, which is determined at the port of entry. Normally, ordinarily, as soon as you enter, the immigration will give you 60 days. So the 60 days is what you have to work on it. The 3 months, the 3-month duration is that you can enter Ghana from the day of the issue of the visa till any time within the 3 months period. So if you collect visa today, let's say today's date, it is valid from today up to the midnight of the 3 months. Within that period, you can travel to Ghana. That does not mean that when you enter Ghana, you stay in Ghana for 90 days. It has created a lot of confusion, but we've had instances to do that kind of explanation, that it is only an entry permit valid for 90 days. The 90 days means that within that period, you can travel any day within that period, after the midnight of the last day. But anytime you enter Ghana, the immigration will give you 60 days. So always be mindful when you enter Ghana to check how many days you have been granted. Mostly it's 60 days, unless the immigration states otherwise. That is the reason. However, if you wish to stay in Ghana more than the 60 days, you are required to go to the district, regional, or the immigration head office to request for the extension of your permit. So if they give you 60 days, in a case where maybe you stay for 4 months or 5 months, before the expiry of the 60 days, you go to the district immigration office. In fact, in all the districts in Ghana, we have a district immigration office. So you do not need to come to Accra. All you need to do is to go to, like my village, you go to Obasi district immigration, and then they will just do the extension immediately for you. It's up to you. It's your legal right to decide that maybe I want to stay 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. For those who want to do that, you can ask for it, and they'll give you the resident permit for 1 year, 2 years, or 4 years, depending on how many years you want to stay in Ghana. So that is the answer to that question. But because this thing is coming up, we'll put some kind of explanation on the website. We'll do that so that at least it will clarify the minds of most people, most potential travelers to Ghana. The second issue has to do with your question. First has to do with Australian and passport. On the international rules, you are expected to enter a particular country and exit the country with only one passport. So for the purpose of discussion, for most of us who have 2 passports, if you are Australian national, the law in Australia requires that you leave Australia with Australian passport and you enter with Australian passport. So when you leave here, you get to Kotoka International Airport, you enter with Ghana passport because you are a Ghanaian. Entering Ghana, you do not require a visa so long as you are a holder of Ghana passport. So the immigration allows you to enter. They do not question, they do not ask you anything. The problem is when you are exiting Ghana, Because at that time, then you give him your Australian passport. Unfortunately for you, for most people, they do not have any stamp or they do not have any evidence of electronic visa to show that you have the visa attached to the Ghana passport. Then the immigration will say, wait a minute, and then the begin So he will ask you, so why are you going? Then you just told, why? Wait a minute, I'm Australian national. Australian national, then now you are going to now turn back or open your wallet and remove your Australian passport. They say, you know that you enter with Ghana, so where the stamp? First you check to the passport and see whether there's an entry stamp. If there's no entry stamp, immediately you know that you enter with the Ghana passport, check there and see Ghana passport. It means that, in fact, by law, it's a deceit of public office. So public officer to enter, because you cannot use two passports simultaneously. So you have to enter with Ghana and leave with Ghana, or enter with Australia and leave with Australian passport. So what is the remedy? At that particular moment, they will ask you, they will issue you what we call visa on arrival, which is about $150. Then they will also impose a penalty. So these are the official statutory fees, yes, which they will collect from you. Apart from the kind of discussion that will go between you and so how much did you pay? Hello, how much did you pay? Tell me. How much?
I've not paid anything. I've not paid anything, but I know that because at that distance I got to understand that there might be something wrong over there. But luckily I was able to get out of it. But,
okay, then you made a good man. Sure. If you tell me goodbye, if you say goodbye.
Of course, that's
Mama sleep. So at that level, Mama sleep. Yeah. So once you understand the language, then that is fine. But then to save you from that situation, two things will arrive. One is that when you are going, just collect the visa, enter and come out. Once you are in Ghana, the Ghana passport could be used for a lot of purposes. Maybe to open bank account, to go for driver's license, or to do other domestic things. Otherwise, the other option is the dual citizenship, which I mentioned. The dual citizenship, under dual citizenship law, you know, before Ghana promulgated the dual citizenship law, you realize that we had that strict rule under our constitution that when you are a citizen of a particular country, you no longer become a Ghanaian. You forfeit your citizenship as a Ghanaian. And this went on till 1996 as a result of appeal from the diaspora and other grievances. Government amended Article 8 of the Constitution was amended to reflect that, to allow for dual citizenship. So what it means is that from under Ghana law, those of you, anybody who lives in Australia and has acquired Australian citizenship from January 1997 up to date is automatically qualified as a dual national, to apply to be a dual national. And the process of application is simply that you just send a request with a money order of $300 to the Ghana High Commission, and then we will send the forms to you. You complete the process, you complete the form, add it together with a valid photocopy of the valid Australian passport, plus photocopy of the Ghana passport, plus 6 pictures, and then you send it back to us. When we receive it, we send it to Accra, to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, to the Minister of Interior to process it. The processing of dual citizenship is not done by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, it's done by the Minister of Interior. The problem with it is that sometimes it takes too long, because with the Minister of Interior, when it goes there, you know, you have provided certain data, certain basic data, and contacts of people in Ghana. Sometimes the problem crop up with tracing of the addresses in Ghana. Sometimes the problem, people provide phone numbers which provide fake information, because for them they think that, oh, Ghana, they will not check. But let me tell you, if you want to apply for dual citizenship, you need to provide the right information. This will facilitate the investigation and also facilitate the conclusion, any conclusion of the process, so that you can get a feedback.